If one day you learned that you were destined to die with infamy, would you still choose to become a hero? His name is Chaos, the core strike force of ETD-6, the executor who gets things done. The blade of the Bureau of Anomaly Control, pointed at every anomaly crime. And at the same time, he is also a chatterbox. His Esper ability is called, In the beginning, none could tell heaven from earth. Its effect is to summon a mass of smoke that can be shaped into solid forms. But very few people know, before he became Chaos, he had another name, Konrak. The story begins in a small seaside town. Back then, young Konrak dreamed of becoming a sailor. He wanted to make a great deal of money, then take his parents somewhere far away for a happier life. For that dream, he even brought home a dog. He fed it with the pocket money he saved, hoping that when he was no longer home, the dog could look after his parents in his place. When Konrak was 13, his dream set sail. His parents put him on a boat bound for distant waters. Konrak waved goodbye to his family and boarded the ship. But he did not know that his parents did not love him. To that struggling family, he was nothing more than a burden, and that ship would never return. From that moment on, his path home disappeared. The ship carrying Konrak toward an uninhabited island was, in truth, a smuggler's ship. Midway through the voyage, it sank in a storm, and just as death closed in, Konrak awakened his Esper ability. Black smoke took the shape of a new ship, saving the survivors aboard. 12 young people were cast into an ocean isolated from the rest of the world. There were many islands in that sea, but the islanders were unwilling to leave their homeland and take them across unknown waters. There was no internet. No outside vessels ever passed by. So, in order to return home, the young survivors decided to build a ship of their own. The Boulder. The one who suggested that name was a boy named Plane, one of Konrak's companions. He claimed to be omniscient and omnipotent. It sounded unreliable. And yet, everything he said had always turned out to be true. Konrak did not like the name. To him, a boulder sinking into the sea sounded like the worst omen possible. But the others loved it. One woman who raised vines even said she would turn the story of the boulder into an epic. To that, Captain Plane only smiled and said, "We will become heroes." And so, the boulder began to take shape. During that time, Konrak encountered a mysterious old person and received a foretelling. "You will die with infamy." He brushed it off, but those words remained in his heart. After the boulder was completed, the group did not return home immediately. To gather the supplies they needed for the journey, they sailed the boulder between islands, transporting goods and earning funds. As anomaly hunters, they also accepted commissions from the locals, solving many dangerous problems for the islanders. Gradually, the name Boulder Hunters became known across the sea. Plane's words came true once again. They became heroes. Heroes known throughout that isolated ocean. But then, everything took a sudden turn. A monster resembling a giant octopus appeared in the sea, an anomaly known as the Kraken. After hesitating for a long time, the captain finally decided that the boulder would hunt it down. It was a victory won at all costs. The boulder returned, but the price was the death of their companion, Ikaria. Ikaria was an Esper aboard the boulder. She was small, with a pair of wings made not of feathers, but of a material that could melt under intense heat. She loved flying around. Konrak called her Shorty. During the battle, she flew too high while trying to draw the anomaly's fire. The sun melted her wings. Ikaria fell, and was killed. After that battle, everything needed for the journey home was finally ready. But some people no longer wished to leave. Faced with a peaceful life on the islands, and the glory of being called heroes, they became afraid. They no longer wanted to step into another unknown voyage. In the end, only 5 people boarded the ship to return home, but fate did not let them go. On the return journey, another storm arrived. Konrak fell into the sea. His companions searched for him, but found nothing. As he struggled in the water, countless images flashed through his mind. The same route, the same storm, and perhaps his parents had known all along that the ship was a smuggler's ship. At that moment, Chaos understood. The warm home he remembered from his youth was a place he could never return to. Konrak chose to remain forever in that sea. And Chaos was saved by a staff member from Groth Island who happened to pass by. He was taken to Groth Island, a place also known as a prison. There, Chaos became a graveyard keeper, responsible for overseeing criminals. But later, a dangerous Esper criminal successfully broke out of prison. Even though the incident was not truly his fault, Chaos blamed himself for failing to keep watch. He swore he would capture that criminal. And one day, he would bring back every criminal in the outside world who deserved to be imprisoned on Groth Island. Only then would he return and face the warden. No one could stop Chaos, once he had made up his mind. So, to avoid overstepping authority and causing trouble for the Bureau of Anomaly Control, the warden entrusted him to the Bureau. Chaos was transferred into ETD-6, a unit specializing in anomaly crimes. To this day, Chaos has learned to shape his Esper ability into teleportation anchors. And yet, he is still trying to create real birds from his smoke, birds that could catch the falling figure in his memory. He has practiced for many years, but even now, he can only make a few small birds. They fly only a few meters, unable to carry even the tiniest speck of dust.